Hi, friends. I feel like I'm herding cats. I'm still running around since we haven't officially hit 6 o'clock yet. So give me just a second because I've got to turn off that light. Hi, friends. I feel like I'm herding cats. I'm still running around since we haven't officially hit 6 o'clock yet. Give me just a second. I've got to turn off that light. Okay. Let's see. Okay, can everybody hear me all right? Can you give me a thumbs up or a... Gail, Lisa, and Cindy are on YouTube. Hello, friends. And then we've got Julie, Rose, and Kimberly on Zoom. Okay, so I'm looking at chats in two different directions here. So I may get a little confused because, oh, only one, Staley, you weren't able to get in. Staley, you weren't able to get in on Zoom? You know, I have to say it might be confusing for folks to be in Zoom and on YouTube. This is the first time we're doing this. Oh, I am going to have some squirrel moments because there is a 20-second delay. So I'm watching the chat on Zoom here and then coming over to YouTube here. Blah. I might need a messy bun for this situation. I don't know. I have a hair tie around here. Oh yeah, Staley, you have to sign up. Just because there's people, if they don't have verified accounts, can do terrible things on the Zoom camera, and I don't want to have to pull the plug on this.
Hello.
Hi, Madeline. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Okay, I'm going to turn the video off for everybody else just because I want to make sure I wasn't able to get the screen as big as I wanted for the unboxing. So I'm going to, so that everybody on YouTube can see as much as possible, I'm going to turn the video off for everybody else.
Okay.
While we're doing the unboxing part. Okay, so it's 6 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get started. Thank you for coming. I'm excited for this one. I think that this is going to be maybe the part that people are most afraid of in getting started. So you have the Cricut Explore or the Maker sitting there in a box, and then it's intimidating and you don't know where to start. So tonight we're going to unbox it together, and then get it set up completely from scratch. So I removed Cricut Design Space from my computer, and then we will install it and do everything tonight, just like we would be doing it if we are by ourselves in our craft room. So I'm going to actually start by going over to the desk and unboxing, and let's talk about what's in the box. Okay, so give me just a second, and I'm going to switch gears here to switch to camera 2. Okay. Can everybody give me a heads up if they can hear me okay? Sorry, I know this is clunky. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, I think we're good to go. So I had put up the Zoom session on my big screen TV, logged into Charming Cheek on YouTube, hoping that I could see the chat, but it isn't doing that for me. Okay, so I'm going to be running back and forth from here to the computer screen to try to read everything that's going on. All right, so this is a bundle box. If you didn't join us for the first session, we are unboxing an Explore Air 2. This is not the Explore 3. This is kind of the original Explore. And so this is a weeding tool set. Let me wait for the delay to catch up here. So the weeding tool, we haven't talked about what weeding means necessarily, but when you're weeding vinyl, it means that you're taking the negative away and removing kind of the garbage or the leftovers that you don't want as part of your image. And this tool will help you weed things, and then the tweezers will help you place them. So that's what this tool set is for. It does not come in a regular Cricut Explore. This is part of the bundle deal. Okay, and it comes with a light grip mat, 12 by 12 light grip mat. And it comes with permanent glossy vinyl. So this is not heat transfer vinyl. This is already adhesive on the back. And it looks like it has a few different colors in here maybe. So it's a sampler. So it has all of these various colors. And then let's see what this is. Oh, everyday iron-on rainbow value pack. Okay, so this is HTV. Sorry to whoever wins this. I just opened up your package in a not nice way. And I won't be using the contents from this just so that you can have it nice and fresh. I will use my own. One of the things I recommend is when you have something sticky like this, if it's sticky on the flap, then always fold the flap in so it doesn't then snag on your material as you're pulling it out. So it looks like there's purple, blue, 2 sheets of each, green, white, oh, actually yellow. Let's turn it around the right way. Okay, red, pink, yellow, green, and blue, and purple. That's a nice pack to get started with. Okay. So there's that. Oh, some more goodies. This is our Let's Get Started pack, and this is going to be our instructions. You will have this even if you don't have a bundle. So this is going to come with your machine. Maker has one, and so does Explore. And this is a scraper and spatula. This is helpful for when you're needing to use vinyl and you're wanting to use a carrier sheet, a piece of plastic or kind of tape that takes your vinyl off of the backing and then transports it to the item that you're putting it on. And this is a scraper. I never really use these, to be honest, but you get one. Okay, so that's it for the goodies. Now we need to take the machine out of the box, but I'm going to race over to the other computer real quick and see if anybody said anything. Hold on just a sec. Sorry. I'm realizing I should mute when I'm ripping my earbuds out to run across the room. Sorry about that. Okay. This is a comedy of errors. All right. So my husband was going to join us tonight, but our dogs were having none of us both being in this room with the door shut and them not being able to come in. Also at 5:15, our smoke detector started to run out of batteries. So that's been fun. All right. So I take this out. Let me look at my screen. Okay, so you can see that. And then I'm going to move this out of the way for just a second. At the bottom of the box is a cord. So this is the power cord. And then this is a cord. If you don't want to use Bluetooth, you can plug the Cricut directly into your USB port on your computer. Looks like they have a pen. So you'll be able to play with the writing feature. And I think that's it. Now, I know a lot of you were able to take advantage of some Black Friday sales. So I'm so glad to see that because these prices right now are amazing. And if it's still out of your budget, I think the good thing is that maybe somebody who's upgrading their machine, there may be some used ones coming on the market soon. Okay, so it says, keep it looking new, reuse this bag. Are reusing it, we're sending it to a new home. Okay. Get cut. All right. So it's wrapped in plastic. I'm going to mute really quick so that you don't hear that sound. Okay, so we have the plastic off, and this tells us to remove. Okay. Now, I'm a chronic button pusher, both literal and figurative. I have the worst time not pushing buttons, but I'm going to be responsible. And instead of just starting to push buttons, I'm going to open this package. Okay. So it says, let's get started. Unleash this beauty. Well, Cricut, you talk my kind of language. I like it. Okay, so step one, unleash this beauty. Plug in and power on your fabulous new Cricut machine. Okay. Okay, so plug in the power and mute again for the crinkly plastic. Okay. So where do we plug it in at? Round back. And it's right here. Okay, we've done that part. Okay, I'm gonna pause really quick and just run to the computer and see if there's any questions I need to answer. Hold, please. You guys, by the time I get done with running back and forth, I am gonna deserve some chocolate. Pretty sure that's what I deserve. Okay, so we've done step 1. Now it says get connected. So step 2. Just go to cricut.com/setup and we'll walk you through every step. Okay, so let's go back over to the computer together and we'll do that. Okay, friends, let's see here. You need to go to cricut.com. Okay, you guys are all being so quiet today. All right, now I need to share my screen. That's not what I want to share. Okay. Everybody can still hear me, right? Oh, yay, chocolate. Okay, perfect. I know you're hearing me then. Okay, so let's see here. It says cricut.com setup. Okay, just watching. Oops. Okay, so now what do we do? Set up a new Cricut product, browse projects, and start designing more. Okay, so I agree to the Cricut terms of service. And I want to, now it says it walks us through every step, but I would say that if I were new to this, I wouldn't know what to do. I'm just going to hit open because that's what's selected here, but I think we probably need to actually download first, but let's try open. And open the URL. Okay, if nothing is happening, download the desktop app now. So download. And I'm going to click on this over here. Looks like it's still installing it. Well, that's not any fun. Let's try again. I may need to stop sharing while I do this. Hold on just a second. Guys, won't that be terrible if I cannot get it to work tonight? Actually, I think it's a good thing. So I ended up going to my download folder, and let me show you that. Actually, I have some private files on my computer I don't want to share with everybody, but hold on just a second. Okay, so it looked like because I was screen sharing, and this just happens sometimes with Zoom, because I was screen sharing, it wouldn't let me execute the file. And so I had to pause the screen share and then go to my downloads folder and then open it. You will likely not need to do that. You'll just need to double click on the file to open it. Does that make sense, or do I need to explain more about that? Okay, and somebody has asked, are all makers Bluetooth? They all have Bluetooth, but they can all be set up with a cord as well. Okay, so coming back to camera one. Okay, so everybody can see this. Now I'm going to say product setup. So I need to create a Cricut ID. So let's do, let's see, what did it tell us again? This is the face I make when I ever have to do passwords. I hate passwords. Okay. No. Select my country, okay, United States. And I agree to the Cricut terms of use and privacy policy, and I do not want to get a bunch of junk mail, so I'm not selecting that one. So I'm going to create the Cricut ID. Oh, the user already exists. That's what I was afraid of. Okay, let's see. It's another email address I have that I don't mind broadcasting to the entire world. Hold, please. You guys. Okay, let's see. Okay, pretend I'm going to do it off screen. You guys pretend that I put in an email account and all that, because it's the same process. You just fingers crossed. Okay, so now I use that email address that I didn't want to get spam on by broadcasting through YouTube. And it automatically popped up with this what's new feature. It does this whenever they have major upgrades to the system, which will happen usually when you're on a deadline and you want to just get to making something really quick. You'll go to start Design Space and it will need to update. It's super annoying, but it does pay off in the long run. One of the things I would say is that I find that I make the most mistakes with my Cricut when I'm under pressure and have not allotted enough time. It takes the fun out of it. So I'm not good at practicing what I preach, but know that almost every time you really need to use it in a hurry, it's going to need to have an upgrade. But the upgrades are helpful. And it tells us a bunch of stuff. This is advanced. This is all new to you, so we don't even need to worry about this. I'm just going to close it. Okay, so now we are here. I'm going to go back and grab one of those cards. I would say that I don't know what it wants a beginner to do. I don't really find this super helpful because it's not telling me what the next step is. I'm going to minimize this really quick. I'm trying not to just do it in the way that I know how, because I know how to use the program and follow the steps for beginners. Okay, perfect. So I had to go back to that setup screen. So I had to go back to Cricut.com setup and then choose the open function. So now it says, welcome to Cricut setup. Select a product type to continue. So we're not using a heat press. We're instead using a cutting machine. So that's easy enough. So let's select that one. And then we tell it which machine we've just unboxed. So we have the Cricut Explore family. Okay, so it wants me to clear 10 inches of space behind the Cricut Explore family. Okay, I've got that. And the reason for this is because as the mat comes in from the front, it's going to exit out the back as it cuts and then come back this way. So if you had this up against the wall, your mat would hit that and then get stuck. If you're using a 12 by 24 mat, you need even more space. Okay, I'm going to go back to questions really quick. Okay, everybody's saying makes sense. Perfect, perfect. Okay, thank you. Okay, so it says plug Cricut Explore family into a wall or outlet and power it on. Okay, we did that. Okay, step 3, use included USB cord to connect the Cricut Explore family to this computer. Oh, let's see. Looks like this device is already connected in a different window. Close that one first, then click retry. Hold on just a second, guys. This is me having too many things going on. Okay. All right, so it looks like the one good thing is I won't have to run back and forth to the computer so much anymore, but I am going to have you hold for just a second while I get the machine over here. So hold please, just a second. Okay, guys, if I can do this on YouTube and Zoom, flying around the room, you guys can do this in the comfort of your room with nobody watching, I promise. Okay, so it says use the included USB cord to connect the Cricut Explore family to this computer. So this, let me see, where's my camera? Okay, so this has one end of it, looks like this, of the cord, and then the other one is just a traditional USB. Okay, so I'm going to first plug in the Cricut Side of Life right next to that power cord. I have to remember this is somebody else's machine and I cannot scratch it. If I scratch it, I'm so sorry. Okay, so I'm just going to plug it into here. Okay, easy breezy. I will also wipe off my fingerprints. Okay, now I just need to take this end and plug it into my computer. Thinking. Okay, while it's thinking, let me go and look and see if anybody has questions. Nope. Okay, let me start this again. And again, this is just because I have too many things going on here. And I think this share screen messes things up. Okay, so let's try this again. Yes, Gail, I do want you to say random things so I know you're live. Thank you. Can we all just be thankful that I don't have a super embarrassing browsing history here? All right, let's see. Let's try that Cricut.com setup again. Oh, not set up. That's no, Cricut, it's not your bad, it's mine. Okay, I'm going through these steps really quick, so we already did them. Yeah. Done, done, done. We did that. Well, I wonder if it wants, did it say to power on before? Ah, power on, that's the part I'm missing. Guys, sorry. Lori just got in from work and she's wondering if she'll be able to watch later or on Sunday mornings. Lori, this will be on YouTube. I don't plan on taking it down, so it'll be up for a long time. Regardless of whether I would like to hide it, it's going to be up there for you. Okay, so it now wants us to select the Cricut device. And we are, let's use USB first. And continue. So it looks like it's updating. Update. Okay, so our Cricut Explore family is up to date. Let's choose next. Oh, darn it. Okay. Sorry, I just realized I went through a bunch of that stuff because my Oh, uh-oh. Well, haha, that's the wrong email address, so it's not going to work. Let's see. So this is now where it wants you to start your free trial. And you do not need to have Cricut access. You can do it like I said before. The machine is your pass to get into the park, and Cricut Access has plenty of free things, so you don't need to worry about doing it. Now, you can start the free trial if you'd like, and it's $9.99 a month afterward. I personally think that it is worth having Cricut Access, because what happens is you're going to be able to see everything that is available to a full-blown Cricut Access member. And you're going to find a font that you want to use, or a shape, or an image, and you're going to start designing with it. And then when you go to cut, it will say, oh, hold on, you need to buy each of those elements that you used. Which is okay if you're just doing it every once in a while. And so your project ends up to $4, and that's better than having a monthly access. For me, I use it enough that the $10 monthly access is worthwhile, and I don't have to worry about being nickel and dimed as I create things. But you do not need to use it. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to say no thanks, because I want to be demonstrating for you what Cricut looks like when you don't have the all access membership. I want you to see as many amazing things that you can do for free. So I'm going to say no thanks. Okay, so it says, let's test a cut. Select an image to get started. So I'm going to do the football. Go Hawks. Okay, and remember that last week we went over how the Cricut Explore has the dial. So it wants you to turn the dial to cardstock. So we're going to turn the dial, and actually, let me start the video here. Hold on just a second. I'm trying to figure out why the video isn't showing. So I'm now sorry guys. So if you're in Zoom, you've been able to see the machine. I hope that you've been able to see it on YouTube through the other camera. Oh, sorry. Okay. And my toes are on camera. That's awesome too. Okay, so if you're in Zoom, you've been able to see these cords as I've held them up the entire time. If you're on YouTube, you're probably wondering what in the heck I'm talking about. I don't know if I can fix that. Okay, I'm gonna go check back into my YouTube friends. All right, is everybody with me, or is this super disjointed and confusing? Crossing my fingers that you're going to say everybody's with me. Okay, Gail wants to choose the crown. So let's go back and choose the crown. Okay, let me go into Zoom and see why it is not letting me see the other camera. Thanks, Gail. Okay, hold on just a sec, sorry. Okay, let's see here. I'm waiting for my YouTube upload to get refreshed. Sorry, guys. Whoa, I just realized I have a very naughty hanging on my wall. Oh, I'm so sorry if anybody saw that. Okay, hold on. I cannot figure out why this isn't doing this. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, so sorry guys, I'm trying to look to see what it looks like on YouTube and Zoom at the same time. My apologies to anybody who saw my embroidered swear words on my wall. I usually keep those off of the camera. Turns out the troll is me. Okay, hold on just a second. I'm waiting for it to get caught up. Okay, folks on Zoom, can you guys still hear me now that I've switched cameras? Okay, perfect. All right, so let me see here. I had to stop sharing in order for the other camera to go. Let's see if I can get both of them up at the same time again. Well, I may not be able to. Sorry, guys. Lisa says my kind of embroidery. Oh, it's a bad one too. It is, it's Ralphie. It's not fudge. It's Ralphie from Christmas Story. Okay. All right, so let's see. I think I'm gonna have to do this with not sharing the screen. So I'm gonna switch, I'm gonna stop sharing again. All right, so now let's come over here. Stop. Okay, and this is the dial that it's talking about. This is where it says cardstock. So, okay, we're doing a cardstock. I've never thrown an embroidery hoop off my wall faster in my entire life. All right, let's see here. So back to share screen. Okay, I've done that. Where is the next button? Okay, let me share screen again real quick. So what happened is I thought I had it on cardstock, but I had it one notch up. And so it wasn't, the machine wasn't letting me go forward with the setup process. So that was the problem. So I will say that 9.5 times out of 10, if there's a problem that you're experiencing with Cricut, there's a simple solution, just like that one. I needed to have it exactly on the cardstock button. And Lori has swear words on her sewing machine or on her sewing room walls also. That's awesome. I wonder how many of us have that. Okay. So now I'm gonna, it says, place small cardstock on the left top corner of the mat. So let me get a piece of cardstock and let's see, do I have a piece of cardstock? Oh, I think it's in the setup. So hold on just a second. Okay, I'm back on my other computer. So it has, this is the mat that it came with. This happens to be one of my own. And I need to make sure you all can hear me. So let me come back in here. Sorry, I know this is tedious. Can you all hear me okay? Okay, thank you, Rose. I appreciate that. All right. So this is, this is the cards. This is the mat that it comes with. Sorry, I'm realizing that I have to go back and forth on here. And this is the light grip, and this is what we want to use for things like cardstock because it won't peel the backing of the cardstock away. So to whomever gets this machine, I will replace any of the materials that I have to use for the setup. So step 3 told us that we were going to make a little something. Okay, so during setup, we'll make a practice project with the materials in the box. Fun. Super fun when you're not on YouTube. All right, bookmark this page. That's cricut.com/create. You'll find every resource you need to master your new machine. So when you're on the computer screen, when you're setting up, you'll want to bookmark this or save this as a favorite so that you can get to it more easily. So it says, let's get started. That's the original folder. Okay. And it does give you some resources here that are other than me, which might be easier to use. So tutorials and troubleshooting are at help.cricut.com. There's instructional videos on their official YouTube channel. They have a chat option, and then you can also email and call them. So here is the book. Comes with different projects and things. Then it has a quick reference guide. Tells you about the different kinds of mats and then how to load your materials. And it tells you what the different tools do. Very important FCC warning statement. And then here is the cardstock that it included. So I'm going to stop sharing for just a second. So let's see, it says place small cardstock on the top left corner of the mat, and it looks like it's this shape. I'm going to share my screen with you in just a second so you can see that. Okay. So this is here. Let me screen share real quick. Okay, on Zoom, on YouTube, can you guys hear? Okay, okay, good. Thanks, Gail. My aunt has joined us. So hi, Noonie. I'm hoping you can hear me. Okay, thank you. All right, let's do screen share. All right, I want to say thank you all for being super patient with me as I get this done. All right. So it says place a small cardstock, and we did that. So now we're going to click next. Okay, confirm the blade is set in clamp B. So this is clamp B. On the maker, when you open this like this, the other part of the clamp opens. And sorry, I'm realizing I'm going to stop sharing real quick. All right. When you're in your maker machine, this clamp will open all the way. In Explore, it just loosens a bit. So this is how you remove your tool. And this is the fine point blade. It was already installed. So I'm going to just drop it back in and close the clamp. And now I'm going to do the share screen. Okay, so it says prepare for cut. Confirm the blade is set in place. We did that. Push the mat up under the guides toward the rollers. Okay. Sorry, I know I'm going back and forth. Okay, so this is what it looks like next. It tells us to press the flashing load and unload button on the machine. And that's this flashing button here. I'm going to unload that again because I didn't really like A, how it sounded, and B, my paper got crinkled. And that was just because I was looking at too many things at once. So don't ever be afraid to unload this before you've done any work on it. It's okay. So I'm going to load it again. Okay. And share screen so you can see what the screen is doing. Okay, so it tells me that it wants me to press the flashing go button. I hope you're not getting dizzy as I go back and forth here. So this is what the go button is, or the cut button. It's flashing, so we know that we want to press it. Okay, so it's just cutting out. And the maker would do the exact same thing right now. Okay, so now it's showing us that this is flashing, and so it wants us to unload. I'm going to mention this now so that I know that I've covered it at least once. Before you unload your mat, you always want to make sure that your item did in fact cut. So don't press the unload even though it's flashing at you. Kind of lift up your material and make sure that it cut out cleanly. In this case, it really didn't. It's not cut that well. And so before unloading, we're going to hit this cut button, this go button again, and it's going to go over everything in the exact same place as it did the first time. If you were to unload your mat and then try that again, it will come in at just a slight different location, and it will not be exactly in the precise place that you need it to be. So don't unload it first. Just check and then hit that go button again. I can see it's lifting up a little bit in places. Gail, the crown. I think we should have gone with the bear or the football. This one has a lot of fine details. And I don't really like cardstock for fine details. Other people do. I just, it tears a bit. So I'm never really a fan. I like it on vinyl though. So Julie, why would it not cut through the first time? I don't know. It should. In my opinion, we just bought a brand new machine. We have a brand new mat and we have it set to cardstock and we have a brand new blade. I'm surprised it didn't cut through the first time. Okay, so now we're going to lift it again. Okay, and this time it cut through. You see that? Okay, let me check in with my YouTube friends. Okay. Okay, Noonie, now she can hear me good. Okay. Let me go back through some of the comments really quick and some of the questions. You can use a tablet. I will, in the description of this video, when we're done, I will provide to you a link to the Cricut settings, and they will tell you what kind of an operating system you need to have. You can use your phone, different tablets. I do believe you're not able to use a Chromebook, but I will link that to you. So what I want you to do is go into the description box of this video and then click on it and then go to see if your operating system is one that Cricut supports. Okay, let's see. Are the short mats better than the longer ones? It just depends on what you're using. I would say that if you are using a piece of material, and this is a question from Lori, if you're using a piece of material that's shorter than 11.5 inches, then you should use the short mat, just because the other ones are more expensive and you don't want to get them all gunky and they're kind of cumbersome to deal with a little bit. So I do, if possible, I do recommend using the 12 by 12 if that supports your process. Dalva is joining us from Puerto Rico and says, hello, hello. Okay, and almost 10 p.m. in Michigan. So is the white cardstock thicker than the blue one? Gail, that's a good question. And it looks like they're the same. So when I was feeling them, yeah, they're the same. Okay, I'm going to share my screen really quick so that you can see what it looks like. Okay, so it tells us that our test cut is complete and we are to hit this unload button. And that did nothing on the screen. So let me do this. Let's do the unload button on the machine. Okay. And back to screen sharing. Okay, so it says that's it. Remove the cut image and cardstock from the mat. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. If you were trying to do this on a standard grip mat, you would probably be tearing the backing and the layers off of the cardstock. So it is important that you use this one. Okay. This is where those weeding tools can be somewhat helpful. To be honest, my favorite weeding tool is the needle. And then this is what we're talking about with weeding. These little areas here. This one didn't get that. Or maybe it wasn't part of the design. So I'm going to just pluck this guy off. And then that scraper tool, that spatula that I showed you, is helpful to get all these little bits off of your mat. Okay. All right. Let's see what the machine tells us. Okay, now it wants us to start designing. So this is where it's coming in again with that Cricut Access. And I'm going to say no thanks. Okay, so here we are in Cricut Access. I'm going to, it's going a little bit later than I thought it was going to, but if you don't mind, I just want to show you around a little bit. And we're going to go more into this next week with actually using Design Space. So from here, we are going to go to a canvas. From home, we're going to go to a canvas. And this is where we design and set up and put in our images and put in our text and tell the mats what we want to do. So if I wanted to add some text, I would hit the text button and I would say, okay. And then I would want to make this smaller. Okay. So this is where we design things. Now, if I want to come to projects, there's all these projects that are ready to go, and a lot of them are free. So I'm not sure how to sort by free, but you can. So let's see. If we wanted to make elf tic-tac-toe, let's see what that looks like. So that's free with Cricut Access, or you have to pay $1.98 to cut it, but we can say customize. And this is telling me, hey, you've already got those words on your canvas. Do you want to replace this, or do you want to save, or what do you want to do? I'm just going to say replace. And now it has all of these items already ready to go and designed for us. And so if we were to choose make it, it would tell us exactly what we need here, but we cannot hit cut. Instead, we have to hit checkout. And that's what I was talking to you about with, there's lots of free things, but then sometimes you have to pay in order to cut. And that's what that looks like. So if you see this checkout button, it means you've got to pay for the items first. I'm going to hit cancel. Let me see if there's any questions. I think I'm going to stop here because we've already gone into quite a bit tonight, but I do want to go back and see if anybody has questions. So hold on just a second. And let me turn this down. Okay. Give me just a second to get everybody on the same screen. Oh, Gail, thank you. She said the category tab had a free filter. And somebody is saying the Chromebook doesn't work. Yeah, I did hear that. But phones do. I will say it's kind of hard because you know, your phone screen is so small that unless you're using a stylus, it might be difficult. I prefer to only use my phone on things that I'm just kind of tweaking rather than full on designing. Okay, does anybody else have any questions? My plan is we'll do this the same time next week. There will be less back and forth because next week I'm not going to be doing any of the cutting on the mats. So it will all be screen sharing, and I think it'll be somewhat easier. So we're going to talk about the different buttons in Design Space. It's going to be, you know, what is group and ungroup, what is delete, what is text, how do we do, what do each of the buttons mean? How do you resize things? So that's what we're going to be going into next week. And then again, on our fourth week, I'm going to have a really simple project for us to do together. Hopefully won't require any special tools other than, you know, the Cricut and maybe a few simple materials. So I want to say thank you to everybody for your patience and for putting up with this very amateur hour here. I really appreciate it. And being no other questions, I'm going to say good night. Okay, thanks, friends. See you next week, 6 o'clock Saturday. Thanks, Julie.